Welcome to another epic Yu-Gi-Oh deck guide. Today, we're diving into one of the most explosive and combo-heavy decks in the game, none other than the Dark World. Dark World is a powerful lineup of Dark Fiend monsters that activate when discarded by card effects. Many of their effects are not once per turn, allowing players to loop them for insane value. This deck shines when used as a combo engine to build boards and disrupt the opponent's hand. So if you're looking for a deck that discards cards for massive value and can hand loop your opponent out of the game, Dark World is the deck for you. First, let's start breaking down the monster lineup. Snow is your main searcher for Dark World cards. It lets you add any Dark World card from your deck to your hand when discarded. If it was discarded by an opponent's effect, you can also steal a monster from their GY. Snow is super important for consistency and works perfectly with cards like Dark World Dealings or the Gates of Dark World. Genta is your searcher for the Gates of Dark World field spell. It can banish itself to search gates, and if you control a Dark World card, Genta can special summon itself back from the banished zone once per turn. Use this to set up link plays or discard it with gates to extend further. Grapha Dragon Lord is your main deck boss monster and board breaker. When discarded, it destroys a card your opponent controls, and if the discard was caused by your opponent, it rips a random card from their hand and special summons itself if it's a monster. Easily brought back by bouncing a Dark World monster, making Grapha great for grind games. Rainbows is your high-level Dark World monster and follow-up searcher. You can special summon it by bouncing a level 7 Dark World monster, and if it's discarded, it searches any level 5 or higher Dark World monster. If the opponent triggered the discard, you also get to special summon a monster straight from the deck. Best used to search Grapha or Lucent and maintain pressure. Silva is your easy special summon beater and great hand control tool. It can special summon itself if discarded by any card effect. But if it was discarded by your opponent's effect, they must return 2 cards from their hand to the bottom of their deck. Pair it with Serali to trigger that powerful hand disruption effect. Plus, a free 2300 attack body helps extend into rank 5 or link plays. Lucent is your free extender from the deck when discarded. It special summons itself from the GY when discarded, and if the opponent caused it, you get to special summon a fiend from your deck. Pairs well with Rainbows or Grapha to fuel big link or fusion plays. Gold is your aggressive beater and field clearer. If discarded by your opponent, it destroys 2 of their cards after special summoning itself from the GY. Great when going second or for pushing through boards. Serali is your key trigger to force discard effects that count as opponent's card effect. It lets you special summon itself to your opponent's field when discarded by a card effect. Then, it makes your opponent discard 1 card, which means your Dark World monsters like Rainbows or Lucent get their bonus effects. It's perfect for triggering powerful Dark World effects that normally only activate when your opponent makes you discard. Now, let's move on to the spells and traps. Gates of Dark World is your main field spell and core enabler for the deck. It lets you banish a fiend from your GY, then discard a card and draw a card. Plus, it gives your fiend monsters a small attack boost. The best part? It's not once per turn, so if you have multiple copies, you can loop through tons of cards and triggers. Dark World Dealings is your classic Dark World enabler that helps both players cycle through cards. It lets both players draw 1 card, then discard 1 card, perfect for triggering your Dark World effects. Use it early to set up your GY and activate powerful discard effects like Grapha or Snow. Dark World Accession is your fusion spell to summon Grapha, Dragon Overlord of Dark World. It lets you fusion summon using monsters from your hand or field, and if you have it in the GY, you can discard a Dark World monster to add it back to your hand. Being a quick play spell means you can even use it on your opponent's turn for disruption plays. Dark World Archives is your power boosting continuous spell. When you discard a Dark World monster, all your monsters gain attack equal to 100x that monster's level. It also has a strong secondary effect. If a fiend is discarded, you draw 2, then discard 1 more. Use it to refill your hand and buff your board mid-combo or when you're going for game. Charge into Dark World is your revival and discard tool in one. It lets you special summon a level 4 or lower fiend from your GY, then discard a fiend monster. Great for extending your plays and triggering discard effects like Snow or Brow while reviving combo pieces. Dark World Punishment is your strong counter trap that lets you negate and stop a normal or special summon, and as part of the effect, you also discard a fiend monster. Plus, in the GY, it can banish itself to protect a Dark World monster from destruction. It's great for interrupting your opponent's plays while still triggering your own monster effects. Forces of Darkness is your basic recovery trap for Dark World monsters. It lets you target 2 Dark World monsters in your GY and add them back to your hand. Use it to recycle Grapha, Snow, or Silva for another round of discards or combos. Dark World Brainwashing is your continuous trap that manipulates your opponent's monster effects. It lets you return a Dark World monster you control to your hand and changes your opponent's activated monster effect to discard 1 random card from your opponent's hand. It's amazing for disrupting key plays while triggering your Dark World monsters that love to be discarded by opponents' effects. And last but not the least, let's move on to the extra deck. Grapha Overlord is your main fusion boss monster and the heart of your control strategy. It lets you use a quick effect to discard a card and change your opponent's activated effect into your opponent discards 1 card. This is great for triggering more Dark World effects during either turn and disrupting your opponent's plays. Chlorlus is your another giant fusion boss that wipes the opponent's entire board. It lets you destroy all cards your opponent controls on fusion summon, and its attack defense becomes 1,000 times the number of materials used. Use multiple materials for a huge body, and take advantage of its quick effect to protect your key monsters from targeting by discarding cards on demand. Dugers is your combo extender or draw power tech. It can draw 2 and discard 1, revive a monster, or double a monster's attack, but you skip your next main phase 1 or battle phase. Use the draw effect when you're digging for key combo pieces or trying to push damage. Zombie Vampire. This card is your Mill and Steel rank 8 tech. It mills the top 4 cards of both players' decks, and if any monster gets milled, you can special summon one to your field. Use this to fuel your GY or steal a combo piece from your opponent. Muckraker is your Fiend-type reviver and protector. It can special summon any Fiend from your GY, and it protects all Fiend monsters from being destroyed by card effects or battle. Works perfectly with all your Dark World monsters and helps you extend or recover. Appaloosa is your Link 4 monster negation wall. It gains 800 attack per material used, and it can negate monster effects equal to the number of materials. Great for breaking boards or locking your opponent out of combos during their turn. Yugioh is your draw engine and special summon extender. If you use 4 materials, you get to draw 4, return 3, and it gives you an extra summon and boosts attack. Use this to dig into your combo pieces or fix a bricky hand. Abomination is your field clearing Link 4 boss. It can destroy a card when a monster is destroyed, when another card effect activates, and during the end phase, up to 3 pops per turn. Perfect for overwhelming boards or dealing with stubborn back row. And Underworld Goddess is your high impact Link 5 boss. You can use an opponent's monster as material, and when summoned, it negates all face-up monsters on the field. Plus, it can negate special summon effects once per turn. Use it to break unbreakable boards or force through damage. The main goal of Dark World is to discard monsters by card effect to trigger their powerful abilities, swarm the field, and leave your opponent with an empty hand. Using your card effects that bouncing monsters to the hand, you can keep looping discards for huge advantage. You need starting cards like Dealings, Genta, and Snow to get the ball rolling. Cards like Silva let you hand loop your opponent, while Grapha Dragon Lord and Rainbows keep coming back to swarm the field or get reused for more discards. You also need to set up the Gates of Dark World that lets you discard and draw while boosting your fiends. Discard outlets like Accession and Charge are key to getting your monsters into the GY and activating their effects. To secure your board, you want to end with cards like Appaloosa, Yugioh, and Grapha Overlord. These let you negate, extend, or disrupt your opponent while keeping powerful monsters on the board. However, Dark World also has its weaknesses. Dark World is weak against decks like Bestial Branded, which can banish key monsters from your GY and play through disruption. Ishizu Tearlaments can mill and shuffle back your resources, while also adapting easily to different matchups. Flunderies punishes your special summons and sets up with minimal resources. Exosisters punish any movement in the GY, which hurts when you try to bounce or revive Dark World monsters. Dark World is also weak against cards like Thunder Dragon Colossus, which shuts down all your searching. Dimensional Fissure and Macrocosmos stop your effects from resolving by banishing your monsters instead of sending them to the GY. Super Polymerization can steal your dark monsters and can't be responded to, making it a strong counter. Shadow Imprisoning Mirror turns off nearly your entire deck by negating dark effects on the field and in the GY. And Summon Limit is also a huge problem since Dark World relies on summoning multiple monsters in one turn to combo off. To deal with these threats, you can side in cards like Cosmic Cyclone or Twin Twisters to clear floodgates like Shadow Imprisoning Mirror. Dark Ruler No More or Forbidden Droplet can shut down monster-heavy boards so you can combo safely. Trap Eater is a neat tech against continuous floodgates like Summon Limit. Called by the Grave helps deal with Bestials and Ishizu Shufflers. You can also consider Eradicator Epidemic Virus, which you can use with Grapha to blow out spells or traps depending on the matchup. To end the duel, finish your combo with a strong board and strip your opponent's hand using Silva multiple times. After that, just swing for game with your high attack fiends or link monsters like Grapha Overload and Access Code Talker. Just make sure you've played around Disruption. If you can avoid getting countered, you're gonna assure your flawless victory. Therefore, Dark World is a high-risk, high-reward combo deck that turns discard effects into pure power. If you love looping effects, flooding the field with fiends, and making your opponent discard half their hand before they play a single card, you're gonna love this deck more than the other decks ever. So if you're looking to get into modern Yu-Gi-Oh!, this is the perfect time to check out this amazing deck and compete in real tournaments. If you enjoyed this video, please give a like and subscribe to this channel. See you in the next video.